This is Stuart Cameron with a look at yesterday's rugby from the Borders. Let's start with the Border League because there were two sensational results over the weekend, starting on Friday night when Peebles won at Hawick for the first time by 22 points to 13. They outscored Hawick 3-1 with Rory Clinch, Martin Cruikshank and Connor Blythe crossing for Peebles, while Hawick's try went to Keith Davis, his 10th for the Greens this season. Reaction first from Peebles' second row, Andrew Brown.
Right, I've been coming down here for years and I don't think I've won a game on this pitch, so it's excellent to finally get a win. It's a good day for Peebles.
Hawick prop Sean Muir had this to say.
They came but gave everything to us and they were a better side, if I'm totally honest. They just came out and put us under pressure. I mean, fair enough, we had a few new boys in the squad, but still it's a game we were expecting to win, but fair play to Peebles.
And we also hear from Hawick coach Phil Leck, who defended his decision of potentially sacrificing the Border League by fielding a much-changed team against Peebles.
We've had a little bit of an experiment and it's not quite worked out as we wanted, and at the end of the day I've got to look at a big picture, and as much as I would love to win the Border League, I've got to prepare for 2 years and 3 years hence, and the only way that I'm going to do it is to expose people to higher level rugby. Fair play to Peebles, fabulous. They played some great rugby. I really enjoyed watching them.
Staying with the Border League, and if there was a shock in Hawick on Friday night, there was an even bigger shock yesterday when Hawick YM won their first Border League game in their first ever match against Jed Forest. They came from 12-0 down to win the match 15-12. Their tries were scored by Jason Hendry and John Coots, with Gregor Young nipping in for a couple of tries to make it 7 from 3 games for Jed. Graham Hogg and Ian Chisholm kicked a conversion each, but it was Hogg's 50-metre penalty 10 minutes from time that won the game. First we hear from Jed's Ewan Scott.
Just a hard time for the club now. We've kind of got used to losing and it's kind of hard to get out in the YM. They're used to winning games and that's just what it comes down to in the end. They know how to shout out games and they've just done it better than us, maybe wanted it more sometimes than us.
Well, as you mentioned it there, it is big changes for the club now. Darren Cunningham no longer there. So obviously at the moment you're rudderless as far as management's concerned.
Aye, we are. It's kind of hard at training at the moment. We're just not sure what boys are coming down. We're not sure who's taking the training and what's going on, but hopefully we can get a coach in the next couple of weeks, and we've got bigger in 2 weeks coming up, so that's our main priority at the moment.
Hawick YM's match winner Graham Hogg.
It's the first win, the first time we had a chance of winning a Border League game in 93 years, so it's a massive result for the club. Boys worked hard all week.
It's been an incredible weekend, hasn't it? Because obviously Hawick being beaten by Peebles across the fence there. Yep. They were 10-0 down, you were 12-0 down and came back.
Yeah, it's typical Border rugby. It's a never say die attitude. Every team's got it. Obviously Jed have had a bit of a different week compared to us, so they obviously came with a point to prove, and first 20 minutes we got the message there, so we had to adapt quickly, and I felt we did do that.
A very proud YM coach, Jamie McFarlane.
Yeah, we made a big deal before the game, and the fellas get an opportunity to put their name down in the history books, and I'm pleased for the boys that played today, and that's what they've done.
A lot of spirit coming back from 12-0 down.
Yeah, but maybe we shouldn't have got ourselves in that mess, Stuart. I thought the first 20 minutes we were completely dominant in field position and set piece and every facet of the game, actually. Then we fell asleep a couple of times and Jed showed their quality out wide. We're rattling the 12 points quickly, so it was good. We gathered ourselves second half, we got some good field position. I thought Dean and Graham kicked us at the right places. The chase was good, and we've put a bit of pressure on that's give us some possession and good field position.
By the way, highlights of both those games played in Hawick on Friday and yesterday are available now on Borders Rugby television at bordersrugby.net. Another Border derby took place in the Border Cup at Philiphaugh between Selkirk and Kelso. The two have locked horns twice already this season, with Selkirk winning both games, and they made it 3 out of 3 with a convincing 39-11 victory. Darren Clapperton was the star of the show with 3 tries and the Man of the Match award, while Callum Johnston and Matt Kissick scored the others. Mike McVie converted 4 and kicked 2 penalties. For Kelso, Stuart Lowry got the only try for them, with Murray Hasty landing 2 penalties. Kelso captain Chris Riddle.
Having 4 or 5 changes in the team, the boys came out firing in the first half. The set piece was well, the line out and scrums went really well, and there was a good pace on the game, which we really enjoyed, and we like to keep it at that pace. It showed with Stuart Lowry going in just a bit under the stick, so he doesn't do that often, so he was pleased with that. But he said that score just before half time that Selkirk got kind of raised their game a bit and got their heads up, so we'll have to try and nip that in the bud.
Skipper of Selkirk, Gavin Craig.
Always be a battle against Kelso. They're good kicking side as well, like, so they use that well, and they're just physical up front, like, and we knew it would be a battle, and we just kind of kent in the first half we'd have to ride it out for them, because we kent that they'd come at us. We wanted to get the tempo up and play the game that we like to play. We like to get the ball moving and that, and try and get it wide and get to the wings, because we can. Darren Clapperton's, well, he's rapid on the wing, like, and if we can get him a bit of space, and he's going to score, and we just never let it off from there, like.
Gala took a giant stride towards the Scottish Championship title with an incredible second half performance, which saw them score 8 tries and 54 unanswered points against Stirling after being down at half time. They eventually ran out 65-17 winners. Craig Robertson scored a hat-trick, Ewan Dodds and Craig Keddy got a brace, and Alan Eamond and Gavin Young got 1 each. Lee Miller scored 7 conversions and 2 penalties. That takes his total in all games this season to an amazing 199. As always, we love getting sound bites from Gala boss George Graham, and as usual, he didn't disappoint.
We could have played a hell of a lot better in the first half. Their decision making was shocking. When we did have overlaps, we were trying to take the ball into contact and then get the ball out of contact, rather than just fix them and let the ball go. And we just created a lot of problems for ourselves, and silly knock-ons, silly penalties, things like that, and not playing in the right areas of the field. And as you said, it was second half and things changed. I think it's probably the best rugby we've seen from Gala in my tenure here. But 40 minutes does not win a game. Well, in this case it does, but normally, it wouldn't win a game. But as I said to you before the game when we were talking about it, I'm trying to, strive for these boys to put an 80-minute performance in. And we never done it today, and yet we still played. We scored 65 points. The scary thing is, what happens if we play for 80 minutes? That's the scary situation that we're in. That if we played for 80 minutes at the intensity we played at in the second half, somebody would get a cricket score put past them, and that's what I'm striving to do.
Gala are just 2 points behind Ayr now with a game in hand. Melrose, though, are in a bit of a losing rut with another defeat, this time to bottom club Dundee by 32-19. They scored 3 tries from Alan Walker, Ross Miller and Bruce Colvin, but are running out of time if they're to defend their title for a 3rd year. Finally, the results from the 3 border derbies in the Border Shield competition. Duns 3, Galloway M 19, Langham 43, Hoytland Dean 17, and Earlston 20, Berwick 27. Next week, only 1 game on Saturday because of the Scotland match against South Africa. It's in East League 3 where Walkerburn visit Leith. But on Friday night, there's 2 big games in the Border League. Gala play Selkirk and Melrose against Kelso. And if you want even more rugby, Mansfield Park is staging a tour match on Wednesday night between Hoytland Dean and Ottawa Indians from Canada. Well, for the news, results, video, audio and rankings, go to bordersrugby.net.
Stark, Main & Co. are a UK award-winning firm of chartered tax advisors and accountants committed to offering high-quality tax and business advisory services. With a committed and professional team, we have the focus and drive to help you change the numbers which are important to you. We are proud of the difference we can make together.